Hi, everybody, and welcome to Builder Nation. Today, we have a new episode featuring Drone Express, a leader in advanced air mobility. This company specializes in using autonomous aerial systems to support remote and isolated communities, from emergency preparedness and medical transport to infrastructure inspection. Drones Express is committed to give safety, healthcare, and overall quality of life in hard-to-reach areas. Keep watching to learn how they are making significant impact with their innovative drone technology. Today, we are joined by Beth Flippo, CEO at Drones Express. Welcome, Beth. Thanks for joining us today.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
So just to start with this, I was reading and watching some interviews you gave some years before, and you talk about Telegrid, your parents' company is founded in the 1984. Correct me if I am wrong.
No, you're...
After that, it became Drone Express, but at the beginning was focused just on delivery. How and why it changed to what is Drone Express today?
So Telegrid was a defense contractor. So we only worked with the military and we built wireless communications. So a lot of mesh networking, things like that. But we never did commercial operations. So one of our products we put up on our webpage that was a good radio for drones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I read it and watched about it too.
Yeah, so all these drone companies wanted to use it, and we decided, this is our chance. Let's go commercial and, build out, all the companies that were contacting us for the radio were drone delivery companies. So we said maybe this is the right path, and yeah, we created Drone Express.
Wow, that's really cool. And now I was looking to that, as I said in the introduction, you are helping to reach some healthcare products to isolated communities. So I want to know, how is the process of deploying these autonomous aerial missions in that remote areas?
So in specifically remote areas?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're doing actually more urban delivery. We're trying to start with urban and densely populated areas because we want to deliver by volume. We want to be delivering constantly. Mm-hmm. We're then planning to expand to those remote areas and operate, farther out. But for right now, we're trying to have a new model where, similar to Instacart, you'll be able to order with us and we'll be able to deliver to you. But we're going to provide the same benefits on our marketplace that Amazon does. Mm. So unlimited delivery, no minimum order quantity, no tipping. For a low monthly fee, you get unlimited deliveries. So with that model, we're going to start where we can get the most volume, which is urban centers. But eventually, yes, we're going to be able to reach remote locations.
Yeah, that's really cool. And just reading and checking some, like I said, interviews and the website, I was impressed by the work that Drones Express do. So I want to hear from you. What is the primary mission of this?
So the primary mission is to be able to get people to be able to buy that one thing that they need within 15 minutes. That's really the benefit of our aircraft. So right now, most of us go running into stores because we need just one thing, or we just buy online. And we are really trying to support the local retailer. So these are the guys that sponsor the Little League, and these are the ones that will give our kid a summer job. And we have kind of turned our backs on them to buy online because delivery is so easy. But all the things that we need are available usually within a mile of our home. We just don't want to go get them. Yeah. So we're hoping that drone delivery shows with our marketplace that you can get it in 15 minutes. It will give a lot of power back to these local retailers that, have been struggling. So why would you, if you need something right now, you go to Amazon, you get it in 2 days. But if you can buy that same thing locally in 15 minutes, you're not going to wait 2 days again. So that's really what we're trying to do, is really change up the way that we live. It's an eco-friendly delivery method. We use batteries, so we're going to take some of those trucks off the road. And that's what we're really trying to do.
Yeah, and I just stick it with what you said, that take the trucks out of the road. I was reading also that you said that in one interview, and that people can keep adding more delivery cars, more delivery trucks, and everybody wants drones now because it's easy, is
Right.
faster, eco-friendly, as you said. So how do you see this technology is going to evolve in the future? You think it's actually possible to change delivery trucks for drones?
Yeah, I believe it's possible because it's something that's been done throughout history. So trains were actually the first method of transporting anything, but they wouldn't go near the population. They would travel long distances and you'd fill up as much as you could on a train. When cars came about, it was the same thing we're experiencing now, where they said, I don't need to put it all on I can do 100 little cars and get closer to where I need to be. So I don't need to spend time going really far out of my way like a train would to the next station. And they were met with the same adversity that we were. It's like, oh, so you're going to have 100 cars instead of a train? A train carries so much, but it was the better path. And society adapted to taking the train and converting it into 100 cars. Now we are at that same precipice where now we have something that can get even closer to those neighborhoods without any wasted time, because we do one delivery at a time. So we aren't, a truck goes all over. That if you could only monitor where your stuff heads, it goes all over the place before it gets to your home. Drones just go right to your house, one delivery at a time.
Directly.
So now, right. And now we've got the same thing where it's like, are you going to replace 100 trucks with 1,000 drones? Yeah, we will, because it's better it's eco-friendly. You're able to get right to the house without having these things waste any time in transit, going to one house to another house, sitting in the back of a truck. So it's a natural evolution that's been happening in transportation for 100 years. And we think people are really going to adapt to it. So you don't need to order that much anymore. Everybody talks about the Sunday grocery delivery. Why would you buy that anymore if you can, in 15 minutes, have every single dinner, what you want for that dinner, just delivered right to your door? So you won't have on Thursday. I have 4 children. Thursday is when you realize what's gone bad, what you never got around to eating. And it's not just the food that you waste, it's the packaging, which is really detrimental to the environment, that you waste. So it will be better for everyone to just order what you need when you need it. And up until this point, there's been no mechanism to do that in a cost-efficient way. Drones are going to change that for us.
Yeah, of course. And I think that also you don't have to wait. I don't know if, for example, you need a pill or because you feel sick, you don't have to wait until, I don't know, you get back home. You can just, if you are at your work, you can just get it there. So I think it's really, really easier and helpful for everybody.
Right. Trucks can't do that right now because they have routing software. So the truck needs to have a route of how it's going to get all the packages in it delivered in a useful fashion. But you could be moving around all over. Drones just go to you. So like you're saying, if you're at your office, it knows where you are. If you're at a hotel, it will know the address and know, just like Uber. If you open it up, it'll just know exactly where you are to be able to deliver to you. And that's something I think once people experience that disconnect from a physical address, I don't think there's any going back. I don't think any of us could ever imagine opening an Uber and having to type an address in. It would make us crazy. Drone delivery is going to do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really sure about it, and I'm really happy that that happens too in the near future. And I hear about this and I read about this, and I assume, because, well, I don't assume, I know that it's super difficult to launch this technology, to have like all the tests before having something really good. So I want to know what were the main challenge you faced during this time.
So time was our main challenge. The FAA, to fly safely in the airspace, you have to go through a lot of testing, a lot of manuals, a lot of description of what you're trying to do. And it just takes a lot of time. And that's why drone delivery has taken so long. Flying anything in the air, it's the safest form of travel in the world. I mean, hundreds of thousands of flights take off every day, and there's never an incident. There's nothing that in terms of transportation that has that kind of safety record. So you do have to do a lot of work, which we've done all these years. We've focused on our certifications because drones are going to be just as safe as regular air travel. And a lot of people don't realize that that's what the time was. But these drones, we've gone through the same airworthiness certification that a Boeing 747 does. We have gone through training manuals for our pilots, operations manuals, maintenance manuals, how the aircraft is maintained through its life cycle. There's nothing like this in transport other than in the air. So drone delivery is going to be safer than even manned aviation because there's no pilot even.
Yeah.
So that is one thing that was our biggest hurdle to overcome, but we did finally have our operation accepted by the FAA for a Part 135, which is a really big deal for us as a little company. But we believe in these regulations. We believe that people want to be safe. So it was necessary to have to go through it.
Yeah, for sure. Because people can just say like, oh, just a drone, you have to just move some buttons and that's it. But of course, it's not like that. It's super difficult. And I know that takes a lot of tests, a lot of time to do it too. And also I was checking that you are training local people to become pilots of these drones. So can you tell us more about what kind of training programs do you offer for locals and how these contribute to the community?
So our drones are fully autonomous. So our pilots are more like air traffic controllers. They sit behind a screen, they watch the aircraft in flight, they look for anything that might be an issue.
Yeah, they're checking everything.
They're checking everything. But what's amazing is that in order to be a drone pilot, you can become a drone pilot at 16. You don't need a college degree. You can just go online for a couple $100 and take a class and take the test and be certified for this incredible new field. So we're going to be starting to create all these new jobs that wouldn't have been available before for people to be able just to get into this industry. Whereas any other industry, you have to have a certain degree in it, you have to study it. This isn't like that. So we're really excited to finally have something where you don't have to spend so much money for college to go through and really build. Drone Express in particular, we like to promote from within. So we always are, pilots who have started out on what we call the line, that are out there, in the field, are the ones that eventually become, vice presidents in our company. So we're excited to bring that to the masses to show that, you if you can do this and do this well and love this, it's a whole new industry to become a part of.
Yeah, of course. And it's part of the new jobs that are appearing now, because some years ago, or like 10, 20 years ago, we couldn't think about that kind of jobs, like you have to have your degree, you have to study like a long career and everything. And now the good thing about this is that is the future of the jobs too.
Right. There's going to be a lot of job creation from this, from even packaging, how packaging is going to change so that these things can be delivered in a way that's safe. We're hoping to encourage more environmentally friendly packaging and more environmentally friendly attitude towards all of this. But there's some pictures online. You could see some people take back streets even when you can reduce traffic and you can bring back grassy areas. That would be the ideal if you can get this stuff off the ground. We don't even realize how much space we're taking up from ground transport. And if we didn't find another way, now that all the young people, like, they only know delivery. So it's only going to increase. Our infrastructure, our roads can't handle it. And we shouldn't have to give up any more greenery to expand our highways. So we got to go up in the air. It's the only path.
Yeah, that's totally true. And I am really happy that these kind of jobs exist now, because help young, especially young people that probably is super interested in this field, in this technology, and they want to become perfect, become master in this. So I think it's really, really good. And now, again, with Drone Express, I want to know how evolutionized through all these years, because I know that now you actually has office around the US and in Madrid too. So tell me a little bit more about how this is going to evolve, or is going to be evolving the last years.
Yeah, so we do have 3 locations. We're in Denver, Colorado. I'm in Dayton, Ohio. And because we're partnered with Kroger's headquarters is in Cincinnati. It's right in our backyard. So that's why we're here. And we also have our Drone Express International. We do some work internationally out of our office in Madrid. But our first operation is going to be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We're really excited. We're getting it all ready to go. And it's our first Part 135 operation. And it's the benefit of doing Part 135 is this is the only path to fly beyond visual line of sight. So you won't need pilots all over the ground watching the airspace. You'll actually be able to do it remotely. So we're really excited for that rollout to show what we can do.
Yeah, that's really cool. And I imagine that you have projects coming soon too for Drone Express. So tell me, what are the future projects or expansions are you and your team currently working on?
So our big thing is our marketplace, our app. We've been spending a lot of time on. So imagine like Instacart, you'll be able to go on there and order anything you want. But we constantly get pulled into all different kinds of industry. We have a lot of travel companies reaching out to us. Even the cruise industries are reaching out to try to get things to the ships. We kind of get pulled into all different kinds of use cases for drone delivery. One is now auto parts. Seems to be a really big deal that we didn't even have on our radar until we were reached out to by a lot of these auto part companies that can't keep up with the demand of all the mechanics that are local to them. So sometimes if you need one part fixed on your car, it could be at a car, a car parts store that's in your town, but your mechanic would have to wait 2 days to get it by their truck. And you're without a car for a day. So you're without a car, you have to pay for a rental. Everything changes, but if that can go away, terrible. So if you can imagine, if we can cut that down, how that would impact our lives. Construction is a very big one that we don't realize that when most construction stops because of small parts that break. So if you break, you're building a hotel and one faucet breaks, that the whole group that installs them could leave. And it could be a week before the new faucet gets there. That is so much time and so much energy, and especially for people building the new homes, that's what all those construction setbacks are. So we're going to be able to see, once you get that time back, construction companies will be able to build twice as fast, which means a lot of savings for the home builder, a lot of savings for the, in the commercial building space. There's a lot of benefit when you can save people time. And up until drones, there was no way to save time without costing a lot of money. And even if you did spend a lot of money, our drones fly, we say, as the crow flies. So there's no traffic, there's nothing, there's no volatility in how long it takes to get there. Our drones take the same amount of time for every single delivery. So imagine what's possible when you can utilize these aircraft down to a minute. There's nobody you have to worry about. There's no traffic. There's no anything that can affect how these aircraft perform. that's something that's very exciting, and we think can change a lot of industries.
Yeah, especially now that time is gold, like for everybody. Like you have to, you if you lose time, okay, well, you can do it, but it's terrible for someone that has to, like you said, build a house or for a hotel or everything is time. Time is gold. Like everybody
Right.
needs time. It's like we are kind of like trying to have the most of the time that we can, and drones are really helpful for that too. Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
it's super important.
it's the most valuable resource in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah.
But it's amazing because this is a technology that is world focused.
Hmm.
Not a lot of technologies span all languages, all countries, all there's no barriers. And people haven't been excited for a technology like this since the iPhone came out, which was really another technology that spread all across the globe. And drone delivery is going to be the same thing. You're going to see people using it everywhere. In 10 years, you're never even going to remember a time where there wasn't drone
Yeah,
delivery.
that's true. That's true. And I
Yeah.
can't wait for that moment, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
Well,
too.
continue talking about challenge again. Now I want to talk about the challenge in today's business. What are the most significant challenges that you had to face in the past or maybe now in the procurement process and the supply chain? How do you do that?
So we were actually very lucky in that our aircraft, in order to get approved by the FAA, most of the parts for our aircraft are produced in the United States. If they weren't, we even made some ourselves to be able to do that, which is helped us a lot with the supply chain issues that there were during the pandemic. So we've gotten very lucky there. But our biggest hurdle is going to be the speed of this rollout, because so many people are going to want it and they're all going to want it now. And it's really something that we have to make sure that the places we choose and how we roll out, we don't roll out too quickly. We make sure we can find places where we see a real good cross section of the population, so we can see what people like, what they're ordering, when they're ordering. So that's really going to be our biggest hurdle right now, is coming up with how to successfully roll out without doing it too quickly.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, because everybody wants now, or probably is going to want in the near future, drones everywhere. So you have to like try
Exactly.
to manage that, right? So yeah,
Yeah.
I understand that part too. And well, now to finish with this interview, I know that was really, really quick, but really, really helpful for everybody too that is watching. And I think that is a question that I like to ask, because there is young people also watching us. So, what is the advice that you will give to them that probably you wanted to hear years before starting this company, this journey, and that you think is important for the young ones, or not the young ones, but entrepreneurs that are starting right now?
The biggest thing I can say is not to be afraid to really jump into this space. It is happening. It's going to create a whole new economy for people to be a part of. Just like the gig economy, we here call it the autonomy economy. And now is the time. You can, with very little money, you can go out and buy an aircraft and get used to what it's like, learn how to fly, and jump in and be a part of it. That's the best advice. There are always going to be naysayers out there for any new technology that comes out. You're always going to have people saying no, but for this one, there's so many positives, not just for retail, but for medical deliveries. There's so many different areas you can get into where drone delivery will, change and totally disrupt that market forever. So I would just tell them to jump in, because it's here. They're lucky that it's happening for the first time in their lifetime. And imagine if they were part of the first generation to have cars coming off the line. What person would you be if you were around when the car was being created? Would you be the one that started looking at a business and how to service these cars and how to integrate them into society? Or would you be the one that, turned off to them? And I'm hoping, that everybody learns from those experiences, that they should have gotten on board then and get excited about it and see the potential. So that's what I would tell people.
Yeah, I think it's really helpful and it's really like also valuable to hear that from you. And I want to thank you, Beth, for being here and share all your insights with us. It was, as I said, really helpful and cool to hear your ideas and learn from you too, and about Drone Express. And so where we can find you and Drone Express, any social media handles, website. I know that you also have a podcast, so tell us.
Right, so droneexpress.com. You can always go there. We're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. You can, and I am doing I've only done a couple so far. You know how difficult it is to get the time to do podcasts, but
I know.
Yes, I'm doing a podcast too, and we're hoping to bring on a lot of people that are really excited about this industry. But you can reach out to even me on LinkedIn directly anytime.
Perfect. And for everybody that is watching, be sure to visit our website, buildernation.io. You can also connect with us on LinkedIn by following Builder Nation for the latest updates and exclusive content. Thank all you for being part of this community. We will see you in the next episode. And a special thanks again, Beth, for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.